Hi, I'm here to talk about hope and the future and some rising stars I see in the political scene that I'm really excited for. To start off, whoa, I managed to figure out how to get OBS to record in 4:3 so my camera doesn't have like the big black bars on the side. That's kind of fun. And second of all, I endorse Zoran for the mayoral primary and the New York City mayor. I hope he wins. Now, I don't think I'm going to do anything by endorsing him. I'm just a tiny little creator who doesn't even live anywhere near New York City. But still, I think he has been running a very strong campaign, and I'm really excited to see actual progressives who are trying to do things. Like, it's nice seeing someone fighting for just change in general. So that's been really exciting. I wanted to just kind of express the hope that I'm feeling, and hopefully I can make you guys feel as well. Because there's a lot of change going on, in a good way and in a bad way. But I'd say mostly in a good way, at least for the Democratic Party. Overall, like on a global scale, it's still pretty bad, but I think it has the potential to get a lot better. So Zoran, very clearly, biggest rising star running on the primary position of making New York City affordable. That's a good way to campaign. I think that's what Kamala Harris should have been running on, is just making things more affordable, lowering grocery prices, things of that sort. I still don't have a good way to secure my camera, so I think it's kind of moving. Yeah. So I think that's what Kamala Harris should have campaigned on, is making everything more affordable, having like more radical and good plans instead of just kind of doing a moderate version of what the Republicans were planning. I think that was a mistake. But we have candidates like Zoran doing that now. And I really hope he wins, because if he does, that's going to be huge for the future of the country. Now, next, I think the most obvious and well known rising star is AOC. I think the campaign that she's been doing with Bernie is awesome. I would be mentioning Bernie more here, but I don't think he's a rising star anymore. I think he just has been a star for a while. I don't think he qualifies as rising, but I think what he's doing is good. I like that sort of thing. Wait, I need to check if I'm using the right microphone or not, because I might not be. I'm I'm a little silly, and I'm not using the right microphone.
Okay, cool. Now I'm using this microphone right here in my hand. Sorry, I wasn't using this one. Okay, so yeah. I don't think Bernie counts as a rising star because he has just been a star for a while. I think he's going to kind of pass the torch to AOC as the new primary progressive. I really hope that she endorses Zoran soon. I think she's going to, but it would be disappointing if she doesn't. Maybe she already has, and I just haven't seen it yet. Like, it could have been like a few hours ago. I feel like I would have heard about it, but I don't. I don't think it's happened yet. I think it will happen soon. I think that AOC doing rallies, even though she's not campaigning, same with Bernie, it's great. Love seeing that. Love seeing people trying to spread a message. That's what the Democratic Party's really lacking, is messaging. Yeah, so we need like a clear message or something to talk about. Cuz it's kind of pointless if you just say, "Oh, pick us." But we don't really have a good reason. Just trust us, you know? That's stupid. No one's going to pick you. So I think that they're making some good points about what is bad about the Trump administration and conservatism in general. I think they're pushing things in a more radical and progressive direction, and I think they're helping people with class consciousness, and that's always good. I love class consciousness. If we're going to go on the topic of like campaigning kind of and rallying, I think Tim Walz is the other rising star. He was the vice president nominee for Kamala Harris's campaign, so he does have some name recognition already. But I really like what he's been doing in a lot of the interviews, talking and the town halls that he's been doing in Republican districts where they won't host town halls. That's great. Love to see that. I like that he's been acknowledging a lot of the flaws of the Democrats and pointing out things that should have been messaged on. I really appreciate that he's taken some blame for not going as hard as he could have, which I don't think was entirely his fault. But it's nice to like see someone acknowledge a lot of the flaws in the current system and say they're going to try and push for change and actually go out and do things, do proper messaging. He talks about the damage Elon Musk is doing and a lot of the horrors of the administration, and that's cool. I could see Tim Walz and AOC both trying to run for president in 2028, assuming we still have elections by then, which I think there's a chance, there's a solid chance that we do. But yeah, I think Tim Walz has been like ramping up, which is awesome to see. I like Walz. He's cool. So seeing them both ramp up, increase their rhetoric, kind of push harder, that's been awesome. I I want to say I feel like AOC is going to go for Chuck Schumer's position. I think she could do that easily, but it's possible she's going to try and go for president instead, which I could see working out. And there's two people I want to talk about, but they're not really rising stars yet. So I think one of them is Andy Beshear. I think he's the governor of Kentucky, something like that. Democratic governor of a really like a Republican state, but he's really popular. He was one of the choices for Kamala Harris's vice president pick. Was one of the people that people were talking about, and I think he would have been a solid choice. He seems like a good guy from everything I've seen. I don't know too much about him, but he seems cool. I just wish I saw more of him on the national scale. Like, I want to see him make a few more headlines, is my point. Nothing against him. I'd like to see him make more of a splash on the national stage. And then Jon Ossoff. That's the other one I want to talk about. I kind of have expected more from him. He hasn't done as much as I would like. Now, he seems like one of the better politicians. I don't know too much about it, like his actual agenda. He seems pretty progressive though, which is nice. Except he did vote on that one really terrible bill for like immigrants. So that one did suck. It soured my opinion a little bit on him. But he's one of the people at risk of losing their seats in the election in, I think, 2026. Yeah. So I really want to see him do more. I want to see him make headlines. I want to see him push for change. I want to see him doing things. And the only thing I've really seen about Jon Ossoff recently is the political ad from the person running against him, which is an incredibly transphobic ad. So, I mean, the ad just makes me want to vote for Jon Ossoff more. Because the ad's like, oh, Jon Ossoff, he's for us trans people, and that's bad. Or something like that. It's really stupid. So, I don't know. I've been disappointed by him. I want to see more. I want to see him making a splash. I don't think he's particularly bad, but I feel like he's got a lot of potential to him. I think he could be doing a lot better and making more headlines. I think he could be defending more positions. It just seems like he's kind of laying low, which is really weird. Considering, I don't know if this is still the case because I think his old opponent dropped out, but he was one of the most contested Senate seats, if I remember correctly. I'm not too knowledgeable on this stuff. I just go off of what I hear on YouTube when it comes to like the statistics on this stuff. I don't claim to be an expert, but I really want to see more from him, and it sucks that I haven't. So those are the people that I have my eyes on for the Rising Stars. I think it would be awesome to see like I don't know, like a Tim Walz AOC ticket for president or AOC Tim Walz either way. That would be kind of sick. I don't know. I've been feeling really hopeful about the state of politics because I feel like it's moving in the right direction. And I wanted to share some of that positivity with you guys because it is a struggle right now. There's a lot of bad things going on, but we can focus on the future. And the future looks like it has a few bright paths. So I'm hopeful, and I think you should be hopeful. Stay safe out there, and bye bye. Bye bye.